Hi, everybody. This is Evangelism teaching number 5. So, I want to share with you guys a story from a long time ago, 17 years ago. Um, I was in the city of Poughkeepsie doing street ministry, and as we were walking up the street, we walked past a woman, and she was talking to somebody, and as we walked by, I could overhear her conversation, and she was swearing and using bad language, and she was just you know, just swearing her head off, and we didn't stop. We kept going, and so about an hour later, we ended up crossing paths with that woman, and so I approached her and I began to speak with her, and I asked, we were talking about the things of God, and she, all of a sudden started using like Christianese, and she started talking, talking the talk. She said that her mother was a minister. She was raised in a church, but yet on the inside, I was thinking, I'm not believing that your relationship with God is as strong as you would want people to believe that it is. And so I made the mistake of saying this. Now, years ago, I did not know what I know today, and I said this. I said, there's a big difference between knowing God with our head as opposed to knowing Him with our heart. And when I said that, she like flipped out. I mean, I thought she was gonna beat me up, and I think there's probably an excellent chance that this woman could have taken me down to Chinatown. I mean, she was big, and she was mad. She was like bumping me, and I'm like, all right, we don't have to fight over it. And so that was that. And so the question is this: like, what do you do with those people who, when you meet them and they're telling you, "Oh yeah, I'm saved. Oh yeah, I know Jesus," but on the inside, you're thinking, I don't know about that. So what do you do with those people? Do we tell them, "Oh, I don't believe that you're saved"? No, we can't do that because we don't know them. And when you do something like that, okay, what will happen is exactly what happened with that woman. Okay, they will get on the defense, and hopefully they won't try to beat you up. But basically your conversation will be closed. So what do you do? Well, I feel like the Lord has given me something, and what I do, and I've done this quite a lot of times, okay, is one of the things that I'll do is I'll ask the person, say I'm talking to a guy, I'll say, "Hey, do you have a girlfriend?" He'll say, "Yeah, I've got a girlfriend." Okay. So you tell me, what does a good relationship, a good healthy relationship look like? And so I usually have to help them out, but basically the answers to the question is, we spend time together, we love being together, communication. I'm always thinking about her. I love getting to know her. I talk about her to my friends. Basically, you know, my girlfriend just consumes me. She's always in my thoughts, always in my mind, and she's the most important thing to me. Okay, great. So then I'll say this to them. I'll say, so tell me this. Imagine you're with your girlfriend, okay, and then you suddenly stop seeing her, and and then she shows up one day and she says, "Hey, I need $50 for groceries." And so you give her $50, and then she skips town. You don't see her again for another month and a half until she comes back needing gas money. You give her the gas money, and then again you don't see her again for a couple months until she shows up and says, "Hey, I'm $75 short on my rent." And you give her that $75 and she's gone again. So then at that point, I'll ask them, "So what kind of relationship is that?" And they'll say, "Well, that's not a relationship at all." Okay? And then at that point, I'll say, "Look, I don't know you. I don't know where you're at with God, but you do." I said, "So from those two scenarios, what does your relationship with Christ, which one of those two scenarios does your relationship with Christ most resemble? The first scenario or the second?" And then I'll tell them, because it's only the relationship that resembles the first scenario that's going to produce any kind of heart change in you. That's the only kind of that's the only way your life is going to change. And the first scenario, the relationship like the first scenario, is the only kind of relationship that's going to get you to heaven. And I'll say there's a whole lot of people out there whose relationship more resembles a second relationship, which is really not relationship at all, but they call that relationship. And so I'll say this, I don't know you, and I'm not judging you, but I want you to judge yourself. What does your relationship with Christ resemble more, the first or second scenario? And I've had so many people that have sat there and they've really kind of assessed where they're at with Jesus. And I've had so many people say the second scenario. And I've had the awesome opportunity to lead these people to Christ. And now check it out. I never once said, hey, I don't believe you. I think your relationship with God stinks. I just asked questions. I asked the right questions. And I allow it's non-confrontational, but you ask the right questions and you allow them to locate themselves. Okay, now if somebody says, now you may be thinking, boy, you're really, I really don't think your relationship with God is too good. You're feeling that on the inside, but yet they say, it's definitely looks like the first one, definitely the first one, and you might doubt that. And that's okay. That's okay. Because there's some people that no matter how lame their relationship with God is, they're never going to tell you that. They'll never tell you that for whatever reason. But it's okay. We don't have to keep pressing the issue. We don't have to like double down on them. I don't know about that, No. We don't do that. We allow, because what's going to happen is they're going to walk away. They know their own heart. They're going to think about the conversation, and they're going to walk away thinking, boy, what a fake I am. I know my relationship with Christ doesn't look that great. And that's going to open their eyes to some things, and I believe that will lead them to a place of coming into genuine relationship with Christ. So I hope this helps. I know that this works, and I encourage you when you're in that and if you've never been in that, if you're anybody, if you've ever shared your faith, you're going to experience that. Or if you want, if you've ever experienced, if you're somebody that shares your faith, no doubt you've experienced that. And if you're somebody that wants to, then you're going to experience it. So again, I hope that this little tip helps you out. So anyway, all right, you guys, God bless you. Stay tuned for the next video, and we'll see you soon. All right, God bless.